Welcome to today's episode of Positive Vibes Only with me, Renee Washington. Now, if you watched the last episode, you know I, at the end, got into a discussion about the GPS of your life. And I discussed how you type in a destination and your GPS tells you direction by direction when you're going to get there. It tells you, if you have Waze like me, it tells you potholes, traffic jams, when there's a cop, so on and so forth. What I'm saying is your life is much like a GPS. You have a destination. You have a goal in life that you're trying to reach. Or goals. It could be a career goal. You could have a financial goal for how much money you want to make. You can have a family goal for us getting married and having kids, buying a house. You can have social goals. All types of different goals. So it doesn't have to just be one destination. But when you are driving along the road, your GPS does not give you a second by second update. It tells you when your next turn is. It warns you in advance of a hazard. It may recalculate you if you get off route and make a wrong turn or something. But what it's constantly doing is keeping you on track to your destination. And there are times when it goes quiet. You don't hear your GPS. It stops talking because your turn isn't for 10 more miles or whatever. And that's exactly how life is. There are times when you feel like everything's going according to plan. You're making your turns. You're on track. You know where you're going. And then there are times when you may feel lost because you haven't heard or had any direction in a while. And I know even with my GPS, and I know this is just a metaphor, but there are times where I'll check and I'm like, dang, I haven't heard anything for a while. When is my next turn? It's the same thing in life. And for me, I know I fully believe in God, and there are times where I feel like God is directly talking to me step by step, by my side, helping me through. And then there are times where I feel like, what is God doing? Where's my next turn? What's my next step? But you have to trust that when it comes time to make that next turn, or when that hazard comes up, that your navigator, in my case God, will tell you and prepare you for it in advance. Not at the last second, will tell you in advance, hazard ahead, warning, hazard ahead, and 100 feet, turn right, whatever the case may be. So I want to expand on that a little bit and talk to you about that, because that is a huge part of having a positive mindset. Having positive vibes is trusting that you are on schedule for where you are supposed to be. In this exact moment, as you're watching me speak, on this exact day, with the exact weather outside, with the exact clothes you're wearing, and the exact way you're feeling, you are exactly where you are supposed to be. It is not by mistake. It is according to a plan. And I know there are so many times in life, I'm definitely guilty of this, where something will happen. Let's say I don't get the job I applied for. Or, okay, let's go even more personal. Someone you're talking to, dating, it doesn't work out. You break up, you stop talking, you get in a big fight. It's over. At that time, it's like the most depressing thing ever. And if you're me, you may cry, you may get upset, you may send long text messages and all these phone calls trying to make it work. I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand why this is happening. Everything was so perfect. What is going on? This guy is perfect for me, and he's the perfect guy, and the guy I wanted to be with my whole life, and now it's not working out. And in that moment, it feels like everything around you is falling apart. You don't understand why it's not working out. You don't understand why he doesn't want to be with you, or why you can't be with him, or why things just are not working out. And then I guarantee you, and I have done this with literally every guy, looking back, you realize that was the best thing that ever happened to me. Maybe not that next week, you don't realize that. Maybe you don't realize it the next month, but I guarantee you one day, when you look back, when you're married, when you're in a new job, when that person that you used to think was perfect for you becomes a drug addict or a nobody or a bum, and we all love this, when that person becomes like a huge, and this is such a sad thing to say, but we love to see our exes like fall apart after us. And that's such a gratifying feeling. You see them dating like an uglier person. You see their whole life seems like it's just gone off track. It's a really negative thing in a way to think, but we love it. And why? Because it makes us feel better about moving on, and it makes us feel better about the fact that it didn't work out. But that is life. There are things in life that are not going to work out, and sometimes that ex may start to date a beautiful person or a really handsome guy, or this really successful person, and you realize, dang, they're doing better without me. And sometimes they may become a bum. But either way, that person was not for you. That job you did not get at that time was not for you. And it doesn't mean that things don't come back. It doesn't mean, and I know sometimes my navigator will take me around something twice. I'm like, I was just here. Why did I make that right turn and come right back to where I just was? Like, I start yelling at my GPS, what is going on? Where are you taking me? I start looking at the route, looking at the directions, trying to figure out, why am I passing this again? I just passed that sign. That is life. You sometimes make turns that don't make sense. Or you sometimes make turns and you are dodging a bullet because that person was not going to build you up, not going to help you out in life, and was going to end up hurting you one way or another. Or that job that you thought you had to have because it was a perfect job in the perfect spot with the perfect pay and the perfect office and coworkers and everything just seems so perfect. But I guarantee you, when you land that dream job, when you land that it job that is for you, you will realize, okay, you know what? This is why it didn't work. When you say I do, this is why every other relationship did not work. I was supposed to end up with this person I'm looking at right here on the altar, exchanging our vows. When you get that nice job that you plan to retire in, that you can build your family up working in that job, then it'll make sense why you were turned down for all the other jobs. That's everything in life. So you need to trust your schedule, and this is something I have really learned to do. Obviously, in that moment, it's okay to be upset, and I'm definitely guilty of that. When something doesn't work out, I will be the first to admit I'm very emotional. I'm not going to say I'm going to bawl my eyes out, but I will get upset, and it's good to reflect and really look back on, okay, I didn't get this job, or this friendship didn't work out, or this relationship didn't work out, or I failed. I was supposed to speak at an event. It went awful. Okay, what can I do next time to be better? What can I do next time to be a better girlfriend, to be a better coworker, to get that job, to be the best person in that interview process so they have no choice but to take me? What can I be next time? What can I do so that next time I am better prepared, so that there is no way I fail when I give that speech, or fail when I take that test, or fail when I'm presented with that opportunity? So the biggest thing is not to worry about I missed that turn, or why haven't I heard any directions lately, but to make sure you're always ready when the time comes. Everything happens for a reason, and I know that's so cliche, but it's so true. Everything happens for a reason. So when something good or bad happens to you, you need to take it for what it is. It's a stepping stone. It's something to help you get to the next step in your life, whatever that may be, to help you move forward. We cannot grow as people if we don't fail sometimes. We cannot grow as people if we don't have some success in life too. So you have to take the good for the bad and the good, to learn from it, to make sure that you're not focused on the wrong things, but taking everything for what it is to be a better you. So when you're on that direction and you're trying to get to that destination and your GPS reroutes you 4 times because it's trying to find the fastest route, and then you realize, and this has happened to me actually. Okay, let me tell you a story. I was driving home from Lehigh. This was a couple years back. Driving home from Lehigh University. And I was coming to New Jersey. I was on the turnpike like I always was. The GPS took me off the turnpike, rerouted me, brought me this whole other way. I'm like, why am I going this way? What is the point of all this? You know, I always take the turnpike. What's the problem? Come to find out, there was terrible traffic on the turnpike. That day was the exact same day we had a blizzard. I believe it was Blizzard Jonas. And it was the winter of 2000 something. I have no idea. 2000, I'm going to say 16. Blizzard Jonas. That was also the same blizzard where people were trapped on the turnpike because it was snowing so bad. And I remember the Temple University cheerleaders, I believe it was, their bus, there was all these news stories about people that were trapped on the turnpike that day of the blizzard because they were driving home, got stuck in traffic, and they couldn't move. I remember being on the turnpike as it was snowing, and there was an accident, there was all this traffic going on, the snow was falling so quickly, I wasn't moving, and my navigator rerouted me, took this long way home. Come to find out, that way was much quicker than had I stayed en route on that turnpike and sat there. I would have been stuck with everyone else on the turnpike for Blizzard Jonas. So what I thought was this unnecessary, crazy way to get home, because I drove this route a million times, My navigator rerouted me to help me avoid a situation that I was not supposed to be in. I heard people, there was a truck that jackknifed, there were people stranded on the highway for hours and hours. They were trying to plow them out. It was a mess. Meanwhile, I was sitting at home in my warm pajamas with my family, watching it all on the news instead of sitting there being stuck on the turnpike with everyone else. True story. Swear to God. What I am saying is, if you did not get the message from that, stop focusing on why things are taking you longer than you had hoped, or being so stuck on a schedule of when things are supposed to happen and how they're supposed to happen. Guess what? A lot of times things are happening to help you avoid pain. So maybe it's like a vaccine. You know, a flu vaccine, you get a little dose of the flu so that you don't get the actual flu. That's life. Sometimes you get a little bit of pain and you may be thinking, why am I going through this? But the truth is that little bit of pain does not compare to everything else you avoided. That extra hour of inconvenience, or however long, it took me forever to get home that day. That extra hour of inconvenience to take a different way home helped me avoid hours of being stranded on the turnpike. So stop over analyzing everything, which I know is so hard to do, and I do it too, and have to talk myself out of it. Stop overanalyzing why things are happening, how things are happening, and just always be ready to respond. So something bad happens, which is going to happen today, tomorrow, the next day. Something will not go as planned. Something will go as planned. Something will fall apart. Something will fall together. But keep remembering that for every little thing that is happening, it is all pieces to a bigger puzzle that you can't see yet. You don't know what is down the road for you. That dream job or dream opportunity, or that person you think that is perfect for you that you're chasing to be with, that may actually be setting you up for the bigger dream, for the bigger plan, for the bigger destination. So stay patient, stay on course. It's okay to question it. That's fine. You can question why things are happening. You can question how things are happening. But don't be so stuck on this moment and why this is happening that you don't move forward. It's all stepping stones. You get stuck on one stepping stone, you're not moving to the next one. You're not getting closer. Everything is getting you one step closer to your end result, which I guarantee you will be better than anything you can ever imagine. We dream every day about what we want to be, what we hope to be, how we hope our lives to be, but I guarantee you what lies down the road for you, if you stay positive, you stay persistent and determined that you're going to be the best you possible, good things will come together. But if you walk through life with this negative, woe is me, why is everything so awful mentality, judging other people, insulting other people, so focused on others that you lose track of yourself, then I guarantee you what could have been a great destination, you will be rerouted to something that's not as great. I'm not going to say it's awful, just not as great. Put your time and effort into what's important. You, your family, your health, your career, being a better version of you, and I guarantee you it'll all come together. We don't know why, we don't know when, but it will at some point. So, let's see, do I have a challenge today? My challenge today, I do have one. My challenge today is for you to do something today on this day that your future self will thank you for. Okay, so maybe it's reading a book, or researching something, or going to take a tour of an office that you hope to one day work at, or you get the point. Maybe getting a tutor for a class you're struggling in. Something. Do something today. Invest something today that in the future you will look back on this change. Like I look back on my decision to get my master's, on my decision to pursue sports broadcasting, on my decision to go as far as I possibly could with soccer, and all those days I worked out on my own where I was exhausted and didn't want to do it and nobody wanted to work out with me, but I would just get a ball and go work out by myself. All those seeds that I planted that now are coming into fruition and not even done. So I think of life as a constant seed in the ground that you're constantly watering, I will say, watering is how I say water. Constantly watering, constantly working towards a big tree. We don't know what it's going to look like when it blossoms and blooms, but just know that will continue to bloom and blossom one leaf at a time, but you have to keep watering it. If you don't give it the love and nurture and care that it needs and the sunlight, not to get too like green thumb on you, it's not going to grow. Water your plant. Plant your seed first. Water that seed. help it grow, and continue to water and take care of yourself so that 5 months, 1 year, 10 years from now, you will look back on your past self and say, thank you. So that's my challenge. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. That's all the time I have. I'm trying not to go too long. I know I can talk forever. But I do appreciate you tuning in to Positive Vibes Only. I hope you have a great day. Plant that seed and water it. Water, 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 water. That's how you properly say it, by the way. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.